What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Brittany Renner says, I did not understand my value that I was born with. She confesses that she regrets her 304 past. Brittany Renner, welcome to the Epiphany phase. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
I hate how I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end of the day, I don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
for
women.
whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. For women, it's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so from my
It's like,
self-worth.
what's how it makes you like feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss. That's not fulfilling. It's disgusting to think about. And I feel like I've beat myself up every single day for my decisions. And what people say about me online holds no candle to what I've told myself on a daily basis. Like I've been called worse by better, and that better being me.
All right, guys, there you go. So we have Brittany Renner confessing that I did not understand my value in the past, and I'm disgusted by the fact that I gave my body throughout her younger days during her sexual market peak. She confesses, I gave my body up to men who looked at having sex with me like it was taking a piss, right? They did not value her. And I can't make this video without giving Rollo Tomasi a shout out, who created the term that I'm about to talk about here, which is the Epiphany phase, right? Between the ages of 29 to about 31, a woman gets to this point right here. Guys, we've seen this many times on other videos. I've done countless number of videos about this. Now, if you're new to this term, you may be like, well, Brittany Renner's hit the wall. No, this is a little bit different. At some point between the ages of about 29 to 31, a woman admits what Brittany Renner's admitting right here. She shows regret for her past. Without fail, this is the age where a woman will say things like, you know what? I regret my past. I'm turning a new leaf. I'm looking for somebody now who I can take seriously for a relationship. And you may be asking, why is it that around this age, women start to think this way? Well, because their situation has changed. They're losing leverage. That wall is in front of them if it hasn't hit them already, and it's coming at full force and speed. They're single mothers, and they're done with the streets because it's no longer fun. Now they're prioritizing a man for a long-term relationship. And the question is that going to be you? Usually in a lot of these situations, a woman is trying to reinvent herself. She's dating with a purpose. She's going back to church. If she doesn't believe in church, she's saying shit like Brittany Renner is saying in this video. Sex is spiritual unification. You guys really think she was talking like this back when she was 23? Right? Dealing with the rappers who she's claimed that she's been with, Drake's and everybody else. It's at this point, once she's had her fun and been in the streets, been passed around. And guys, I'm just telling you what it is here. This is not one of those videos where I'm like laughing about this situation, because sometimes, you know, it's funny. And it may be funny too in this situation, but in this situation, I just want to show that, like, regardless of whether a woman is a celebrity, regardless of whether she's just in the general public, these are one of the very real phases that women will go through. And you may be wondering, well, why is it important for you to know this? It's important for you to know this because if you're unaware, you may look at someone like Brittany Renner and think to yourself, or Brittany Renner look-alike, as far as her situation, you may think, wow, this woman has dated celebrities. She's used to be attractive. I guess she's, you know, lost a little bit of her attraction, but now she's attracted to me. But what you wouldn't know is her attraction to you is largely based on her circumstance. And you want to be careful with these women who hit this epiphany phase and turn their life around. I'm not saying that it's not genuine, It could be that this is exactly what she needed, right? She needed to go through all this. Did she have to? No, no woman has to go through the streets to realize her worth, but that's what society teaches its women. But it's good for you to know this because you can avoid a situation where a woman is with you because you're just the right, convenient guy for this time and place that she's in, not necessarily because she looks at you, respects you, and views you as somebody who she's grateful for, naturally attracted to, etc. Right? As always, man, the internet did respond back to this video. Let's see what the people have to say. First comment here says, nah, don't say used up by men. You was using them. Remember, 1,700 plus likes. Another woman here says, people wait until they run through to want to settle down. Don't nobody want that. Spoken by woman. And guys, these weren't the majority of comments. The majority of comments did not say this. I remember reading a few of the comments, and the first, most popular ones were women saying, wow, she finally realizes her worth. She finally gets it. Good for you. Growth. That's how society views women a lot of the times who get to that point, regardless of the impact that life before when they were run through, regardless of that experience and the situation it's put them in. Society is trained to forgive women in every phase of their life. Single mother, wow. At least she finally realized. But you as a man, you got to remember, you don't have that type of forgiveness. You don't. And you also have to value the fact that if you're older and you're at the peak, make sure that you're not settling for somebody who's just conveniently open to you after she's been ran through, right? Next comment here says, and the guys that sleep with all these women don't love themselves either. Someone else responded back to that comment and said, we are different from women. Next, another person says, but the fact remains. No, it doesn't. Right? And finally, the last comment says, men and women don't look at sex the same. As much as women wish and pray that men would, they don't. I don't know why women live in a world of should. They do. Another woman here says, these comments are weird. People can't grow. Yes, people can grow, but does that mean that we should forget their past? Does that mean that their past does not matter? It still matters. Then there's the other question. Is this growth, or is it a woman prioritizing her life based on what she values most at that time? When she was younger, well, she's valuing the men around her who she finds the most high value to take home and have a good time with. And when she's older, now all of a sudden she sees the truth, but she has to go through that damage. Which is why a woman who is young in that phase and decides to settle down and makes that sacrifice of giving herself while she's young to a man values and respects. This chick goes on to say, some of y'all mamas was just like her, and now they devoted to the church. Get off your high horse, please. And this chick says 100 emoji. Another person here says, it's not that people can't grow. She set herself up for life using men unapologetically. So now she basically saying she was wrong for doing that. Don't try to set the narrative that people can't use this against her in the future. Yep. Which is so not true. You can grow. People will remember. If a man turned her down because of the other way she treated that NBA player, is he wrong for doing his research? No, he's not. Hopefully he's subscribed to the coffee pot. Another comment here from a man says, I mean, there is such a thing as a sexual liberated woman. And if a man's value doesn't go down because of sex or sexual partners, neither should woman's value. This dude right here. He goes on to say, I always tell women, your body start over in a new place where nobody knows you. Tell a dude you've only been with one man, he'll never know. No, that's not true. That's not true because you're affected, right? There are biological consequences of living that type of life, which I'm sure Brittany Renner is going through, right? That's that trauma. That's that stress. Next comment from another person says, what was so liberating in her ways? Now they used her. Laugh out loud. Another chick here says, laughing my effing A off, and had the nerve to promote this illusion of sexual liberation to young women. It's a damn shame. There are a few women out here who are recognizing that, you know what? Mating strategy that a lot of women are using today to spend their youth out here in the streets, when they should be using those times when they're most attractive to get a husband, get married. They're seeing it for what it is, and they're deciding to make the type of decisions that will put them in the best situation in the future, right? Which is a husband if you want one. Because at the end of the day, this is what Brittany Renner wants. Another woman responded back to that chick and said, and she's now promoting accountability, acknowledgement of realizing self-worth and being transparent about your fault along your journey. Very valuable lessons for young women. Unfortunately, she wasn't born into perfection from birth like you, with the shoulder shrug. The same chick responded back to her and says, extremism is such a pathetic excuse to not be accountable. Grow up, with the clown emoji. The damage that she's imprinted in our young women is irreversible. There we go. As are the bodies she has racked up along her journey to self-actualization. Damn. It's not that simple. It's not as simple as, oh, she gets it? Cool. Are you ready to play stepdad? Are you ready to be a stepfather?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Are you ready to deal with the drama that's come with countless men? Let's take it away from Brittany Renner right now, but with all these women who get to a point in their later years when they hit that epiphany phase and they start verbally acknowledging that, like, hey, I effed up. Cool. But let's not act like that doesn't come with consequences, psychological, visible, those kids who, quite frankly, most men don't care about, but you want them to care for, right? Are you going to be more realistic with your standards? Most likely not. Most likely these women still think that they deserve that top percent man because they've done the work and they've grown. A child made me more mature, some of them will say. Another chick here says, but when women in your comments were telling you this, they were called boring, prudes, and SLUT shamers. Come on now. Another person responded back to that chick and says she's probably realizing she's been used and discarded, so now she's trying to make it work in her favor again by pretending to be vulnerable. She's manipulative as hell. Now, I don't think women who get to that point are pretending. It's not that they're pretending. Those women are genuine. They genuinely want to change. They genuinely believe what they're saying. They mean it. But again, it doesn't change the consequences. It doesn't change your position. You can't go back in time. And any man who's seriously considering a woman like that needs to ask himself, is it worth it? And finally, the last comment here says, yawn, she don't want to be a freak no more. Oh man, interesting. As always, guys, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.